Honest opinion, what was the worst genocide in history?
That's not fair.
That's not fair? Oh, hey. Let's not fight each other. Is there anything that I haven't talked about tonight you would love for me to talk about? Genocide, lovely, fantastic. You should be in every comedy show. You should attend more improv shows. Okay, well, genocide, clearly hilarious because everybody laughed right away. It's just one of the most hilarious. Yeah, for some reason, one person dying, not funny. 5 people dying, not that funny. Genocide, fucking hilarious. Anybody who's unhappy right now is thinking of a specific genocide. I'm talking about all of them, okay? One specific genocide is not funny. Thinking about one group of people is not funny. But when you talk about all genocide as a whole, it's kind of funny. Or do you like dark humor? Is that you're into dark humor? Or
I'm pretty drunk and I blacked out.
You're pretty drunk and blacked out. That's a very cool blackout trait. Because a lot of people like wake up with their pants off in an alley, or like end up sleeping with someone they don't want to, or like end up like cursing out their friends. But you just yell out genocide. It's a very dark form of Tourette's that you have. What's that?
This morning.
No, okay. Even though I was kind of joking when I said it earlier, I definitely meant that singling out one specific genocide is going to make this much worse. She's like, yeah, the one this morning. I'm like, please no, just please stop.
Somebody's like an orphanage came.
Okay, so you're going to keep going with this thing that I just told you is going to ruin the show. Okay. Yeah, and she's like, an orphanage. No, they were orphans. Oh yeah, that's great. That makes it a lot better. That's fucking awesome. Genocide. I don't back down from a topic. I mean, listen. The teacher thing, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Yeah. Are you a PE teacher? You're very fucking antsy. You're fucking, run that mile! We want the right now!
Now reading.
You're a reading teacher? That's the hard one, right? All right, kids, go over there, sit in the corner, and look at book. You teach reading all day?
Yeah, unless I'm having lunch.
Unless you're having lunch. Yeah. You're a cool teacher. That's a good point. What grade do you teach reading to?
8 to 10.
It's like a delayed middle school, is that what it is?
Actually, a lot of my students are Middle Eastern, and they read.
A lot of your students are.
Beautifully.
So it's not a middle school, it's a Middle Eastern school. It's a junior halal. Okay, I can say that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. They're mostly Middle Eastern students, and what language are they reading in? Arabic. Okay, so you're an Arabic reading teacher.
I teach them to read, write, and speak in English, but they come from places.
They come from the Middle East.
Read, write, and speak beautifully in Arabic.
Well, that's awesome. You're like, these people come from their native countries, and they actually speak their languages very well. They come to me to learn subpar English, but I'll tell you what, they speak a goddamn good Arabic, because that's where they're from.
Even though they're 15, we open the book this way.
Because you read the other way in Arabic.
The other way.
Yes. So, and the books are in English, so they open the book the wrong way, then flip it over, open it the right way. Step one, bring some nostalgia. Every time, like, oh fuck, every time they forget, like, khalas. Let's go back to genocide. I think, I've never been more eager to revert to genocide. Honest opinion, what was the worst genocide in history?
Congo.
What's that? Congo.
That's not fair.
That's not fair? That's not fair because I didn't let you do it? It's like, I want to talk about the one this morning. My genocide. My genocide is the best. Well, There's so much genocide. So much genocide, so little time.
That was one of your favorites, Sammy.
My favorite genocide? I asked what was the worst. I'm not a monster. My favorite genocide. All right, does anybody want to help me out a little bit here and give me a different suggestion? What's that? Mental health? You know. My mental health is suffering right now. I need help. I'm officially checking myself in after this show. Okay. Oh, hey. Let's not fight each other. Okay. We don't. It could be your day. It could be your birthday, and you really want to talk and let it out.
It's not
And you
my
can.
show. It's not my show.
Yeah. I don't mean this at all about you, but if I did have a favorite kind of genocide, it would be that of hecklers. It would be heckler genocide. My favorite genocide is every time I masturbate. That's pretty much the one that's the one where I'm like, these Middle Eastern children that I lost.
As a Jew in the world, how am I supposed to walk the streets?
Hey everybody, New York Jew here, and today I'm going to teach you how to walk the streets of New York. So what you got to do, in case you forgot, you take your right leg and you walk forward like that, then you take your left leg and move like that.
We're Jews who support Palestine. Of course, I use Alhamdulillah, Inshallah, and Wallah.
Hey! Did you make the shawarma? It's delicious, man. Oh.
What if I threaten you guys? Just hear me out. I hope that you get cheated out of your overtime. How about that?
Maybe you could just try calling the guy?
Jacob Berger.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, man.
Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Of course, man. Thanks for all the letters asking to be on it.
Yeah, I know. You finally responded, man. I had to make some calls.
Yeah.
So where you from, man?
Born and raised here in New York City, from the Bronx, and I lived out in LA for 4 years after I went viral with my comedy and moved back here to New York like 2 years ago, and I've been loving being back here in New York. New York is such a big part of who we are, especially as performers and entertainers. I'm sure you can attest to the New York comics and stuff.
They're badass, man.
Yes,
they're scary.
Yes,
they're
scary, but we're
they
funny,
bark.
I stay out in California where it's safe.
Right. Well, that's debatable. That's debatable. I would say the people. I remember because like downtown LA is like a scary place. Like I grew up in New York around homelessness, but down there, I remember last time I was in LA, there was a guy in the corner just swinging a knife. We
had some gangsters out there.
Yeah, and when Sammy says he lives in LA, he means Glendale.
Right,
So-
of course. Yeah. And then I did a comedy rap video. Funny enough, it was called "I'm a Jew." It was to Meek Mill's "I'm a Boss" in 2011. And it didn't go viral like I go viral now, but it did like a little bit. It was like posted about by like Barstool Sports and stuff. So I was like, okay, like maybe I got something here. So then I did a couple little TV gigs, one of those like reenactment shows, like the murder porn kind of things where it's like I was like a strip club DJ and get seduced by this woman, I kill her husband, kind of like those reenactment shows on Discovery. So I was like, this is nice. And then basically I joined the industry and started working in major TV and film like within 3 years. And
because I've seen you on some. You've been on some like network.
Yeah. I was most recently on The Idol. I've been on Power. I've been on a lot. I've like over 20 some on major TV film credits. So that's primarily what is my primary focus. The social media thing came out of the blue. That was not an expected thing. Because hip hop's always been a big part of my life. And back when Trump won the presidency, I remember we were just all kind of just in shell shock as liberals. Like we couldn't believe it that like this happened. And at the time, Bad and Bougie was like the hot song at the time. So I was like, let me do a Trump parody to Bad and Bougie, and maybe that'll put a smile on people's face, make me, make him look like a buffoon as he is. And it went viral. And then from there, I just started making content. And then, 7 years later of doing social media, it's like been an incredible journey.
Yeah, man, you've been killing it on that TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
And
TikTok's become like the primary platform. So I've had to clean up some of my content a little bit. I can't be as racy as I once was on Instagram.
Are they I mean, because I get censored a bit on TikTok, but I don't know the extent
of it. No, I can't post anything with like women on TikTok. Like
really?
Any like a hint of cleavage, like a whiff of booty, like
they take it down.
It will get taken down and stuff. But now I'm in a place where I've had enough viral videos where I have a TikTok manager. It's like the total opposite of experience of Meta. Like I can actually call someone and be like, hey, this is going, like if there's an issue, like, oh yeah, we got that, don't worry, as opposed to Meta that's like give two shits about their creators.
What was your role on The Idol? Were you a strip club DJ?
No, I was security in the first episode. I had a nice scene with Eli Roth where he's coming in and we just have like a little funny little repartee back and forth because I was supposed to be in the season finale of Euphoria season 2. Sam Levinson had cast me in it, and long story short, the second day in of the shoot, they were running out of time, so they cut my scene, but so they ended up remembering me. But unfortunately, after October 7th, like Sam ended up becoming a crazy, super nut Zionist, so I had to unfriend him and block him. Because I was like, he was posting the most nuts, like, just Hasbro type BS.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I see you know a lot of people from the industry. So you had like a thing with Michael Rappaport. I saw.
Yeah, funny enough, we used to be friends, me and Mike. Like I always been compared to him. I kind of look like him a little bit. You know, we're the New York hip hop Jew kind of stuff. And it was funny when I went viral because through my friend Loopy, we ended up going. He was doing when he first started doing stand up probably 7 years ago, and then I got to meet him. And I've hung out with him multiple times. I met his wife. Like like I know him. Like you know. And he's not all that boisterous kind of attitude-filled guy. I don't know if you've had any experience with him in the room, but he's not all like that. And so that's why when I saw the way he acted once October 7th happened and just doubled down on the hate and the Islamophobia and everything, I was just like, this is nuts. So it's very, the internet is having a good time.
You don't think that's really, I mean, you think he's playing up that
I think it's more about ego than anything else because he's like me. He's a cultural Jew. Like he doesn't go to temple. He's not kosher. He doesn't observe the Sabbath. Like most Jewish people in America are like Reform Jews. Like I say New York City Jews. So we like shiksas, which are non-Jewish women. Like good deals on things, like Seinfeld, like just when he's like Larry David S type Jew, like So that's why it's so disingenuous where he's suddenly become like found Judaism and all this stuff. Like it's just I think it's more about ego and they doubled down, like they made their bets and then they gotta lay in it.
Was your family pretty like? Did they go to temple? Did they do Sabbath? Did they do no,
I mean, like most American Jews, I grew up going to Hebrew school from the age of preschool till I got my. Well, actually, I didn't have a bar mitzvah at first because I was like, didn't really believe in structured religion at 12. I was very ahead of my time and stuff like that. But funny enough, when I did the trip to Israel, Birthright Israel, like, you get so seduced and brainwashed that like at the end, after they take you to the Wailing Wall and Mossad and the Holocaust Museum, they're like, this is literally, I'm not even joking. It's like the last night, they're like, okay, so like, does anyone want to get bat mitzvah that didn't have one? I'm like, yes, please, I want one now, please. Like,
So like, you did Birthright.
Yeah, I did Birthright.
How old were you?
19 in college. Yeah,
and did they come like recruit you at the?
No, it was just Hillel. That's like one of like the big Jewish, like Reform Jewish organizations that's on every college campus. Like, it's pretty much like a given that like if you're a Jewish American, you're gonna go on Birthright Israel between the ages of 18 and 26. Like, it's just a standard. Like, what a free trip to Jews. We love free. Like, so you're gonna save a buck, So,
and so, what's your experience like? You went for like a week or what?
Yeah, you go for a week and stuff. They bring these hot Israeli soldiers on with you and stuff, like, and they're all like into us because at that age they're all soldiers, so they're all have boring lives pretty much, So American men, like, we're very interesting to them. I didn't hook up with any, but they bring a couple girls and a couple guys for the Jewish, because. At the end of the day, Birthright is all about making Jewish babies. It's all about like us finding our. It's a big Jewish singles night, basically, is what it is. But I remember going. I have a very fond memory of going because the first day you go to Jerusalem, and they were like, well, first of all, this was back when Young Jeezy was very popular, and I wore a "Can't Ban the Snowman" T-shirt at the Wailing Wall. I was pretty sure I'm probably the first human being to do that at the Wailing Wall, so I was proud of that. But they were like, guys, whatever you do, like, don't go into the Arab section. Like, stay in the zone. You know what I mean? Like, when you're in Jerusalem, but of course, I'm a 19-year-old guy from New York. Well, you don't gonna tell me what the do. I'm gonna go to the Arab section and see what's up. And lo and behold, I go to the Arab section. I'm like talking to some shop owners. I'm like, so what's the deal? Like, do you guys hate it? Like, they know, man, business is business. Like, you buy shirt, like, and look, and all the same. They had all the same knickknacks and shirts that the Israeli shops had, but it was half as much. I was like, ain't that like, ain't this a like, that's why they didn't want me. They want me to have to pay the top dollar for this horrible stuff. But it's just there's a very active effort to make American Jews feel this allegiance to the state of Israel, and it's very insidious, especially because like me, my family is from Eastern Europe, Russia. Like, I know where my family came from. Like, it's crazy that there's people that look like me who think they're more Semitic than Palestinians. Like, that's just absolutely insane.
Right. So. Yeah. So when did you become a jihadi?
Allah Akbar. Yeah, I mean, so like I was saying, it's something that we always knew about, but I think October 7th it was a flashpoint where we're like, now we can't be on the fence anymore. Like, we have to, there's no more like kind of ignoring this and stuff like that. Because, it's always put us like, oh, Israel is the safest place for Jews. Like, how is this a safe place for us? Like, if we're like, you literally took people's land. Like, I would argue that it makes us less safe and creates more anti-Semitism, that sort of attitude.
So you converted like October 7th.
Had my shahad?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say convert. I mean, I spoke out the very next day. I posted a story about it, and I was viciously attacked. I had people from high school reaching out to me, like, fuck terrorists, like, how dare you? Like,
I mean,
you said something about the occupation, right?
But,
You said
I said the very first day.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, I made a statement, and ended up going viral on TikTok and Instagram. I got like 1 million views, like just kind of explaining the history of Palestine, Israel, about like, putting into context, like, because, like Zionists would make you believe that, oh, they just hate us because we're Jews. Like, that's stupid. It's the same thing if it was the French that were in Palestine. They'd be fighting the French the way they did in Algiers or Tunisia. Like, it's not about religion. It's about land. It's about occupation. And
being that early is interesting to me because I remember when October 7th happened, the PR was definitely, I was, I had a parachute and everything. We were doing a show with Sammy. It was a somber moment
here in New York City. Yeah,
yeah. We were in New York, so we were just hiding out in tunnels.
It hadn't sunk in at that point. People were not, because we didn't actually. I mean, we actually still don't know exactly what happened that day, but like it didn't fully. The story didn't fully unfold until like the next few days. Yeah, and so everybody was just kind of like, what?
Yeah. And I do remember like when it happened. The public goodwill was towards the Jewish side because the media was like, like Palestinian terrorists parachuted into a music festival, took hostages, and killed civilians.
Yeah.
So you speaking out that early pro-Palestinian, that's a gold star.
Well, right? I'm not here to get a pat on the back, but like I saw right away sort of what was happening, the narrative that they were starting to put and stuff like that, and the demonization of the Palestinians and the way they started bombing civilians right away. I just knew that like I needed to speak up. Like I could not remain silent. Like I was literally like laying in my bed, like I need to say something. I cannot be quiet because I'm a Jewish American with a huge platform. And like, if at the end of the day, if anyone's going to change the way America deals with this whole thing, it's going to be the Jewish Americans that like put it at the forefront. Like it's on us, like to try and make something change. So, I this is bigger than me now at this point. Like, I have no ifs, ands, or buts about. Like, I understand what the danger I put myself in by doing this.
Do you feel like it's affected like acting opportunities?
No, funny enough, I've worked more in legit TV film this year than other years. So, not really. I mean, they've tried. They hit up my representation, and my representation basically was just like they already follow me on social media.
Yeah,
they know what I'm about.
So your reps are cool with what you do.
Yeah, I mean, as long as all they care about is that my booking work. I had 2 auditions today. I did for major TV shows. Like,
great.
People know. I told I think it's going to become actually a positive that I'm someone who's outspoken. There's a lot of people in the industry that are, but 100%. There's a lot of people who are really scared. Because let's be honest, like that's why it's funny when they're like, oh, like look at you doing this for Hollywood. You're getting paid. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this for clout because everyone knows like it's the Palestinians that run the Hollywood industry in America. Like. It's just so like they have no logic of thinking. It's just.
I was gonna say like your representation's pretty real for that. That's like a real like real like Jewish nuts and bones, right? It's like, hey, I don't care what you post as long as you bring the money.
Like that, they just said we're bringing this to your attention. We're not taking any action at this time. To me, that's basically the best I'm gonna get, and I'm happy with that. And I'm still getting auditions, so
That's
but
great.
That's the thing they do. They try and destroy you, and that's why they hate. That's why I 99% of the people online like that talk are cowards. They don't show their face. So I always tell them like your words mean nothing to me. Like your little demon, the way you say things and horrible things. You're scared. You don't want to show your face. That's why I go on TikTok. I love trolling these because I'll be like, why aren't you in the IDF? You're military age. I have a job. I'm in school. I have a disability. I'm like, yeah, you got a mental disability probably.
My back hurts. And I have glasses.
Yeah, so there's just certain things that I push on. Like that's why you can't have a good faith conversation with a Zionist because they're gonna gaslight you to hear them burnt up, and like they can't even. I've yet to meet one person like because I'd be on a lot of panels online where I'm like, can you admit I have like a few questions I ask people if they're trying to have a legit conversation with me, like a real debate, not just a personal attack. I'm like, can you admit at this point we're 9 months later and it's been well documented that the 40 beheaded babies things was a total fabrication lie? Most people refuse to admit that. How can I have a logical conversation with someone who still believes that atrocity propaganda, which is a big part of the justification of why they jumped in there and started slaughtering everyone? I remember when I was posting, my mom, she's like, I can't believe you posted that. They're cutting babies' heads off. I'm like, Mom, that's totally bullshit, you know?
Yeah, that should be a conversation opener. Like,
Yeah.
were 40 babies beheaded? If yes.
Yeah.
No
Well,
more
that brings me to my
conversation.
like next, you know, I have like a couple of different like questions, just like
Yeah.
yes or no questions,
Yeah.
because it's just, we don't need to get into all of them, but
We're 40
that's just
babies
like,
beheaded.
yeah. Because
Such a round number too. It's like,
Yeah,
come
like
on.
there's some OCD.
Yeah.
I had another
Has
woman
to be
say,
40.
I had one Zion woman in a chat was like, oh, well, you know, it's just, he saw kids beheaded, he misspoke. I'm like, no. Biden said he saw the photos. Like, let's not rewrite history here. Yeah.
He said 40 babies with no heads. I couldn't sniff their hair.
Yeah.
You know, I asked this to a lot of people because nobody has the answer. But like, what do you hope for? What do you think is the solution?
Right?
Yeah.
I know we talk so much about the conflict. Like,
Yeah. What is the solution? Yeah.
I mean, I think at the very least, something that is obtainable and is actually doable is obviously America stop funding Israel.
Yeah.
That's something that is attainable.
Right.
I mean, obviously, like there's so many hurdles, APAC, everything, but like something that we could do here in America.
Right.
The same way like we protested the Vietnam War and everything like that, like to stop the money flowing into all that.
Right.
That's the same thing that has to be done here. So if at the very least we do that, because I think if that happened, Israel would stop their aggression tomorrow. Like if they don't have the bombs and weapons and money, then they're not gonna, you know.
Right.
Because the reality is Israel's getting beat the up. And it's like the Western media wants to portray like they're kicking it, but like I talked to a lot of sources on the ground in Lebanon and Gaza, like they're underreporting like what's going on, like 110. I'm sure you hear the same thing.
Oh yeah, no, they're getting spanked by dudes in sandals.
You know, it's nuts. But so that at the very least, and there has to be a one state. I don't think a 2-state solution is something that is very realistic. We need the thing is Israeli people, especially in America, like to say like, oh, it's Netanyahu, it's the government, it's not Israelis. And I hate to break it to you, but Israeli culture is pretty racist and terrible, and they hate Arabs and they hate Muslims. And so that brainwashing has to be undone too. Like, so I would want to see a world where obviously kick all those others out the West Bank. Like the fact that they just approved another 5,000 families to go there, insane. And that's what. And
then they wonder why.
Right, and that's and there's a lot going on in the West Bank that is not being reported on. Like that's BB's next target.
If anything, it's really I mean, it's like everything else is like obviously is real and what's happening in Gaza, but it's like it's a big smokescreen.
Yeah, and West Bank. Yeah, so America stop funding it, end the settlements in the West Bank. Obviously, right of return for all Palestinians. The fact that me, who I've never had no connection to Israel, that I could go move to fucking Tel Aviv right now or the West Bank, kick a Palestinian out of his home, become a citizen of Israel, get free healthcare, free education. While millions of Palestinians across the world
you should do that and then give your home to a Palestinian family.
I'm in it for the long gag. I'm in it for the long. This is commitment. I'm very committed to my comedy.
Just went and got like land, a good plot of land, and then just gave a Palestinian family.
So to me, those are things that obviously there's a lot of red tape, but like those are things that like I feel like can be actually done. Where it's like when because people always want to know like actual physical, like what is your plan? I think those are things that can be done. Like many people can go to America, go to Europe, go wherever they want. Like, this idea that like we're not safe anywhere, like I would argue Israel makes Jews across the world far less safe at this point. You know,
you mentioned a 1-state solution. Like, what do you envision? Like goes because I know like a lot of people would like hear that in the comments and be like, oh, like they want to erase us. Like, what do you think?
No, like a actual thing where people are the actual promise of whatever Israel thinks that like they have, where it's like. Palestinians can move freely. They're not third-class citizens, like where they are representing the government. They're so disingenuous the way they're like, well, we have a big Arab-Israeli population. I'm like, yeah, that's Arab-Israeli, not Palestinians. Like, you know, there's difference. Like, they're very disingenuous the way they try and market it. Like
so they just live in harmony together.
Ideally, but the thing is, you know what it is? The Israelis, the Zionists, they hate Arabs. They hate Muslims. And honest, I feel more. Let me put it this way: I feel safer. I would feel safer standing in the middle of a Muslim city wearing a kippah on than I would being here on the Upper East Side wearing a kufi on. Because I've actually funny story. I'll tell you this story. I'm walking down the street with my kufi on. This is like near Columbus Circle right here, like South Central Park. Walking, mind my own business, not a rally or anything. I'm just walking down the street, mind my business. All of a sudden, there's a guy standing by his car, and he goes, hey, only wear that. I'm like, what'd you say to me? He's like, yeah, only wear that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Take my phone out, I start recording the thing, and then he's like, I'm like, what did you say again? And basically made him go viral. And like his brother, he owns this financial company. His brother's the president. He's like, he's mentally ill. It's always mental illness when they get caught, you know, being racist.
Right.
But the reason I bring it up is because, you know, Jews, we always talk about, oh, it's not safe. Like, it's so ironic. It is so ironic. The first, as I'm talking to my camera, it is so ironic. The first time that I experienced a hate crime is because I'm wearing a kufiya and not for being Jewish. For like that is like, if that isn't the universe like telling me like what I'm doing is right, then I don't know what the fuck is. Like, you know,
when you get a hate crime, you know you're in the right place.
Yeah, I was just so shocked, bro. I was because you know like I'm a white guy. What kind of like you know oh you cracker like it's not gonna sting like but like I was like what.
Literally the fashion police, right? It's like for your fit.
The funny thing was he had no shirt on. He was wearing like leather pants, so like maybe he was mentally ill a little bit. You know, he was like flexing his muscles in the video projecting. And shit. Yeah. You know?
What do you think about these people who spread, and including the media, but like who perpetuate the narrative that these pro-Palestine marches, these encampments, they're all anti-Semitic, and you know, I mean, obviously, like we know what the truth is, but like as somebody who goes to them actively, like what do you tell people? What would you say to people?
I would say it's all sort of Western media. I mean, I feel more in touch with my Judaism in the last 9 months than I've probably ever felt in my life. You know, sort of, and having people interested in. Like I remember going to the encampments. I went to like the ones here at CCNY and NYU. And like it was during Passover, like we literally had Passover seders at the encampments, like that was crazy. Like that's why it's like so preposterous when they say like, oh, it's not safe for like literally half of the crowd is usually Jewish people like me, you know. But they hate us because we destroy their narrative of this is some anti-Semitic, you know. Anytime we're at a rally, the violence comes from the Zionists who come there to counter protest to try and get some shit on us and the cops. It is not us looking for violence at any point. I'll shout a guy down. I love on them, Lord knows. But like, I'm not gonna swing first. I'm not looking for violence. But they come to purposely try and antagonize us, to try and get a viral video, to try and farm clip us and stuff like that.
Right.
You know?
Speaking of viral videos, I know you're like in the space, so you've probably seen a lot of the content. And you're from New York, so I saw something on like a New York subway. You mentioned how typically at these rallies, it's counter protesters trying to antagonize and incite violence. I saw something on the subway system where there were Palestinian supporters and they were asking people on the trains like, oh, are there any Zionists? No,
that was my boy. I was on that train car. No, because we were doing a rally at Union Square and the cops were basically ready. They thought we were going to march like down south, like from there. And they didn't. We all rushed the train that day. Like, so what you don't see from before that is a rush of 1,000 people. The cops literally punching us like because there were people hopping on the turnstile, they're trying to arrest people, opening the emergency exit. It was pandemonium and stuff. And we finally got on, and we were just like, we were sitting in the station for probably 20, 30 minutes. And that guy, he's part of, you know, he was just like saying, like, he was joking, like, hey, you any signs you want to get out? Like, we're not doing anything. Like, it's just, but yeah, we're like, Israel, Zionism, like, you know, it's just letting it be known, like, you know. And
yeah, but you can see how people would consider that, like, not helpful to the cause, right?
Honestly, fuck their feelings. That's how I say it. Like it was a moment in time. They made even like a wanted. Like what did he do? He didn't do any crime. Like I'm pretty sure there's nothing there. It's like menacing in the third degree or something. Like get the. I literally have people come up to me, Zionists, and be like, "You, I hope your family gets killed." Like that's really? real. That's real threats. Not some Zion. That's why it's such bull. They literally. Last rally I was at, there's a lady holding a Palestinian flag. It said us on it. Someone was wearing had a kufiya, was written in blood, like, you know, Palestinians are racist, you know, stuff like that.
Wow.
Like, that's the real vitriol shit. Not someone being like, if you're a Zionist, get off the train. Like, get the you know. So that's why, like, I you know.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious.
Yeah,
you know? Just like.
No, that was all blown out of proportion. Like I just told you, I was literally on that train car. Like, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually it's kind of funny. You were like, I thought you were joking.
No, we were laughing when I saw them put up like the Zio influencers put his picture up. I started cracking up. I was sending them like, bro, you see this? Like, you know.
But that kind of gets into my next question, where it's like, do you feel like there's any like the train incident? I saw on the internet, like, you know. a lot of like, you know, hate towards like, you know, like the cause. And because it's not necessarily the most productive message like out to the world, and it can get blown out of proportion and things like that. So do you feel like, you know, like
Look, we're here to cause disruption. We're here to shake things up. We're not here to get permits. That organization I marched with, there's an organization like Answer Coalition who I've been marching with for 20 years. They get permits. They get because we'll get arrested if we use a speaker. If you don't have a permit, they'll come. Right. So that's why at our rallies you'll see the speaker be like say it, and then the crowd like says back what she just said, so it amplifies it. So basically, we're there to create disruption. Like that. How do you think revolution happens? How things change? Like, you know, you can't just like protest isn't supposed to be convenient. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to create havoc. You know, it's supposed to create conversation. Like I look at what people went through during the civil rights movement, like, you know, with water hoses and dogs after them and getting killed. Like, you know, we're in the early stages of that. Like this is the first year of something that's going to take decades. Like this is a long battle. This is not happening overnight. Like this is, you know, look at Vietnam. It took 10 years. Civil rights took decades. Like, so we're at the forefront of that. And you're going to see more and more disruption. I mean, you look at some activists that went to weapons plants and caused damage there to try and stop bombs being sent and stuff like that. The fact of the matter is there has to be radical action, and it's not. And the fact that Biden and all these people just continue to send bombs, like, you know, it's just the world's at a boiling point. You know, it's like, how much more can we take? You know,
right. So to answer your question, not enough disruption.
Yeah.
No, and that's fair. And I'm just trying to like ask you like popular counterpoints, just so like you can like, you know, educate.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You earlier said like, oh, you know, you said I don't deal with Zionists or like waste my time or like, you know, talk to Zionists.
Productive.
But let's say you were, you know, you have your one last ditch chance to like reach them, or somebody who's like a soft Zionist or on the fence. What's your message to those people?
I mean, it's hard because they lack empathy and humanity. So it's like, I can't really like.
What if they got a shred? What if they got a little shred?
I mean, I just say, put yourself in their shoes. What would you do if a foreign entity came into your land, took more than half, you know, 80% of it at this point?
Yeah.
Killed members of your family, didn't allow you to collect rainwater. It's illegal for Palestinians to collect rainwater, dig wells, a million other things. What would you do? That would be my question. What would you do if Israel killed your child? What would you do? And it would be so disingenuous to like, oh well, I'd write my congressman. Like, no, let's be for real. You know, Americans, right, where they red blooded America, they love talking about, like, don't tread on me, 1776, like, you know, America, revolution. Like these Zionists would be like, if it was the Boston Tea Party, be like, oh, they shouldn't have they destroyed the tea. Oh my God, like it's so bad.
They should have went to the town halls.
Yeah, they should have went to the town halls. There's a better way to handle this.
They had a chance to accept
like, that's
the
what I'm saying. Like, the people
the
same people who preach like American for like are the same ones that would tell you, oh, Palestinians don't have a right to resist, even though Geneva Convention very plainly states that they have a right to resist. You know, so that's really my thing: is try to put yourself in their shoes. And realize that this is not about religion. This is not about Muslims. This is not about Judaism. This is about land. This is about there. Muslims do not hate Jewish people. Like, Jews are very much revered. Muslims literally protected Jewish people during the Crusades and during the Ottoman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and people don't know that. Like, so I think we have to do a lot of deprogramming and de-brainwashing of Americans to realize. And I think we need to have more. You know, I'm trying to build these bridges and normalize. You know, sort of Muslim culture, and you know, and if I can do that through content and stuff like that to sort of make it see that we have way more in common than we do different, then I'm pretty happy about that. I want to keep.
Man, I love it.
Probably good. I feel this was like a cathartic moment because I hit Sammy. I was like, I need to get on a podcast.
No, of course, because you are. I mean, obviously you act and you've done all sorts of, but you're a short form guy. Mm-hmm. Like you slay short form on a daily. And I know you. So I know you don't do a lot of. I know you've done long form stuff, but I know you don't do a lot of long form.
Right.
So a podcast technically kind of being a long form.
Right.
The whole time I've just been like, what's going to be a good clip from this? You know, and I see it. You speak. You're very good at. You make points and sound bites, so it's like, man. I mean, I see
all clocked under 1 minute.
Yeah, we got 10
of course.
pieces of content. This guy's efficient.
You know. I mean, George Soros has been paying me and training me well. You know, so I gotta have my points in there.
Money works.
You know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for having me on, guys.
Of course, bro.
And you guys can catch me. I'm gonna be on American Sports Story, the new Ryan Murphy series. Like, I'm working on an episode of that. Also, check me out on the new Saturday Night Live movie coming out at the end of the year, and a film called Dr. Doctor that I'm starring with Stephen He. And am I missing anything else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And follow me on all my social media channels. Jacob Burger Actor. It's Burger with an E, not a U. No Jew spells with a U.
Before we actually send you off, do you want to sign us off with like 16 bars or something?
16 bars? Do we have any music? All right, let's do acapella. That's true. Okay. All right. All right, check it. Hey, yo, 1, 2, 3. You talking to the JACOB. You know I'm on the podcast getting it ripping. Man, you know I'm sitting up. Yeah, something be different. Yeah, me and Sammy. Yeah, we get it cracking. Free Palestine. I'm going to show you what happened. From the river to the sea. That's a fact. Because you know the white boy Jew bring it back. How I just do. Man, we stacking in the building. Man, I can't stop. Man, stop in the killing. We got to do it, man. Bring it on back. How we just put it on the track. Yeah.
All right. Hey, thank you so much.
Off the dome. Easy, Bob. Easy, Bob.
If you agree with that? All right, guys, listen. Everybody stop. I don't use the word apartheid because nobody knows what it means. Very few people actually know what apartheid means, because if you actually know what apartheid is, you would know that Israel's an apartheid state, because it fits the definition of apartheid. People get upset because they don't know what the definition of apartheid is. If South Africa says you're an apartheid, bro. If you don't know what apartheid is a system of racial segregation. And the reason why people deny that Israel's an apartheid state is because they say that, Arabs have equal rights in Israel, which first of all is not really true. They face a lot of systematic discrimination. But even if you took that at face value, you have to look on the other side of the wall. On the other side of the wall, there's Palestinians who have no rights. And those Palestinians are under occupation by Israel. So by definition, Israel is supposed to be providing them rights. And if they're not, it's an apartheid state. The easiest way...
Palestinians are threatening the safety of people.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you. Okay, that's awesome. I'm so glad you came and sat in the front. This is like a gift. Are you spiritual? This is like a gift. This is amazing. Did you come here for the show to have this moment?
Yes.
Amazing. It was random.
Israel left Gaza.
Israel left. Okay, good, great. So let's go back to the joke I just did, right? Israel left Gaza in what year?
I don't know.
You don't know. Exactly. It was 2005.
Palestinians or the Gazans there voted for Hamas.
I'm getting upset because you're in the front row. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's.
Look at me. I don't have the game. I'm not a Palestinian. I'm not a Jew.
That's fine. That's fine. You just have to be a human being, right? You just have to be a human being. Right? Yes. Arabs have walked away, so you identify as a Zionist, right?
No, I try to be neutral.
You're not trying too hard. Yeah. You disagree that Israel is an apartheid state. Okay, but...
I don't know what apartheid is.
You know what apartheid is. Okay, great. You just said you don't know what apartheid is, yet you interrupted me because you said that Israel is not an apartheid. So... Oh, you didn't say that.
Palestinians are always threatening...
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Ignorant, obviously ignorant, but nonetheless, October 7th. Guys. Relax. Trust me, this makes for a better show. We'll get to all those things you said in my bits, but here's the point. I was up here saying that Israel's an apartheid state, and you interrupted saying something that is irrelevant to the fact that Israel's an apartheid state, okay? If you want to build a wall for whatever reason, if you think it's for your safety concerns, that's fine, you build a wall, and you want to occupy the neighboring region, do that. It's illegal by international law, but if you do that, just know they're under your jurisdiction, and by law, because they're under your jurisdiction, it's an apartheid state, because they don't have rights. So, now you know that. Take that part home. We'll cover the rest in a minute, okay? Okay? For people who don't know what apartheid is, let me explain it to you. If I were to go visit my family in the West Bank, and we wanted to go to where my grandma was born and raised, inside Israel, she came from a city called Jaffa, we would have to cross through military checkpoints. Me, an American city, I'm the whole city. An American citizen would have to go through military checkpoints where literally machine guns above our head, like with surveillance, doing like humiliating things like strip searching us as we go, just to go inside and visit the family, which, you know, obviously you would say is for reasons of safety, whatever. I have to go through that even as an American city. Even as an American city. I am the city of San Diego. Okay? But that's the point. Like, even if I took this whole city with me, we would have to go through the military checkpoints. And we're coming from the West Bank, which is under Israeli occupation. So it's under Israeli jurisdiction, but yet we don't have the same rights that Israeli citizens inside of Israel have. I would just want to go and visit the land that my grandma grew up on. And now I didn't grow up on it, yeah, but she grew up on it, and she's told me stories about it. And so I feel connected to it. It's a part tied to me. She got it. She got it. You got it. You got it. Okay. 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 See, this is fun. Okay. Okay. I perform for people who agree with what I'm saying, and I perform for a lot of people who don't. I tour everywhere. I get a lot of heat for the things that I say, but most of it's online, so I feel safe. One guy DM'd me, he's like, Sammy, does your tour fund Hamas? And I was like, first of all, how did you know? Secondly, no, I'm not involved with the transferring of money to Hamas. That's more of Netanyahu's thing. People ask me questions about Hamas like I know them personally. Like I hit them up after the show, I'm like, yeah, boys, it went well. Yeah. They received the message. I'll call you later. I don't know Hamas. None of y'all ever seen a Hamas. Okay? They out there, you just can't see them. That's kind of their brand, you know? People ask me my opinion on, they want to know a Palestinian's opinion on Hamas. It's like, why do you care about opinion? Why don't you just ask what they are objectively? And I'll tell you that. Hamas is a resistance group from Palestine. One of many, many resistance groups from Palestine, because Palestine has been under occupation for decades. And that leads to the formation of resistance groups. It's not unique to Palestine. It happens everywhere. But there's a reason why you know about Hamas. Because Hamas was chosen. It was Netanyahu's favorite. Netanyahu allowed cash infusions to flow into Hamas from Qatar in order to make the two-state solution impossible. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is soundbited on the internet. The Israeli regime under Netanyahu has this love-hate relationship with Hamas because it's their proposed enemy, but they built it up. And they even came up with a pet name for it. They call it Hamas for some reason. We don't know. Arabs, this perplexes us because we have the Kha sound too, but it's not in that word, so we don't know where it came from. They let this money flow into Hamas, they call it Hamas. So we're like, where'd the K come from? They paid for it, apparently. The problem is, the mainstream media was able to push this narrative onto people like you and I, that the people of Gaza, for some reason, are complicit in what's going on, that for some reason they deserve what's happening to them because they, quote, like you said, they voted for Hamas. Let's unpack that statement. They voted for Hamas. All of them, even the babies, crawled out to the polls, scribbled in Hamas, got their little green lollipop and went home. Half of Gaza's population is under 18. Okay? So, because of a high birth rate, yes, this is partially true, because of a high birth rate. Also because refugees have been pushed out from other parts of the region into Gaza. That's why there's a lot of people there. But yes, the Gaza birth rate is high. Some people often say it's only one or the other. It's actually both. Palestinians be doing it. Survival. If you don't believe me, look up Gaza birth rate. It is high. They voted for Hamas. Half of the population is under 18, which is already a minority of people. You already know that less than 50% of them voted. So it's like extremely inhumane to say they voted for Hamas, this is what they want, when half of the population isn't even of voting age now, okay? Because did anybody look into that election? 17 years It was one election, and it was in 2006. Do you remember who you voted for in 2006? No, because it was a midterm year. Nobody gives a right? Nobody remembers who was on the ballot in 2006. And so let's unpack this trope even more, because if you look at the statistic, half of the population isn't even of voting age now, meaning like 75% of the population wasn't even voting age then. And then within that 25% of the population, 40% of the people who showed up to vote that day voted for Hamas. That's of the people who showed up. Let's say 80% of the voting population showed up. So that's 20% of the total population now, and 40%. What's 40% of 20%? Come on, you may not be on the side. You gotta be on the side of math, right? It's 8%. At most, 8% of the people living in Gaza voted for Hamas. So do you understand how up it is to say they voted for Hamas when literally it was just 8% who voted for Hamas? Right? Let's think about that. It's racist, right? Why is it? It's bad math, correctly. I mean, yeah, like bad math usually leads to racism, right? Like think about racist tropes we have here in the United States. What's a racist trope? You want to give me one? You're good at them, so you want to give me one? And it's a comedy show. We're all very accepting. We know that you don't actually feel that way, but just give us one that we've heard before. Or who wants to give you one? Who wants to give me one?
Women of color are all on welfare.
To go out there and say that women of color are all on welfare, when if it was only 8% of them, still, a lot. I'm sure it's not that much, but that would be fucked up to say that. So, what's that? Who? Where are you from, by the way?
Hey, Pat.
San Diego.
That's a lot to unpack. You know what I mean? Okay. You're from San Diego. That's fine. I identify as mainstream American too. Honestly, I'm not like a full left or right. I like to see. What's that?
I bet you are left.
You bet I'm left? Why would you think that I'm left? I have 17 guns at home. Okay? That's not a threat. That's not a threat. That's not a threat. I didn't vote for Hamas. But I have 17 guns at home. That's funny. She's like, you look like a lib because you care. No, you don't know my views. I'm actually a very balanced perspective, but I do know facts and I do like math. So that dictates the things that I do say. And when I don't know shit about it, I shut the fuck up. Kind of a good rule to follow in general. But you now understand why saying that they voted for Hamas is messed up. You at least agree with that part now based on the math, or you still think?
All elections are based on who turns out, right? Every election
Yes, perfect. This is exactly where I'm going to go next. Okay, so listen. Can you imagine being held accountable for somebody you voted for years ago? Let's think about this, okay? The first time, yeah, exactly. This poor man. I've seen your ballots, okay? This guy voted for Ted Cruz one time. He's done some damage to the fabric of our democracy, but he's still a good guy, and he's working on it. Can you imagine being held accountable? I'll tell you, the first time I was allowed to vote in the general election was 2004. I'm an old man. 2004 was the first time they let me at the polls. Boy, was I ready to flex my democracy. I was like, let's go. Who we got? Oh man, 2004, we had the privilege. We have the honor of being able to vote for two stellar options. Mr. John F. Kerry. Yeah, you heard me right. Kerry, not Kennedy, okay? John F. Kerry. My best impression of him is moi. Gen Z, if I showed you a picture of John F. Kerry, you'd be like, who is that car salesman? I have no idea who that guy is. Does he replace AC units? What does he do? John F. Kerry was the Democratic candidate of 2004, and it was him up against the one, the only, the irreplaceable George W. Bush. Okay? Yeah. It was literally the worst election aside from all the ones that came after it. It was really, really bad. But that's just how elections are. You never get good options. You get the options who make you want to vomit the least. You know what I mean? You pick who makes you vomit the least. And if you get juiced for a candidate, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry. Politicians are wired to, in some shape or form, manipulate you and lie you, even the good ones. So if you get excited about a politician, I'm happy for you, but go to a therapist. Now that was who was on the ballot in 2004, okay? But America, like you're right, it's about who the population votes for. America, we're a strong country, we're a wise country, we're a moral country. Don't look it up. But we saw those options, all the options in 2004, and collectively we came together and we did the right thing. We said enough is enough, 4 more years of the W. We saw the economy tanking, heading towards a recession rapidly. We saw war in the Middle East. We saw, 9/11. We're like, fuck it, let's see what happens. Just 4 more years. We voted for him a second time. Well, technically a first. But we wanted 8 years of back-to-back Bush. Now, I don't know if you know about the W. Okay, but he did not do great, okay? In fact, he did some bad. If you don't know about the bad things that W did, make some friends from Iraq, okay? They will make it very clear to you. Be ready for some cursing, okay? Because he messed up Iraq. For real, man. Like, people from Iraq, they hate the W, they hate his dad, they hate the whole Bush dynasty, okay? They've even banned bushes in their yards, okay? It's only trees and grass in Iraq, no bushes, okay? They're all clean shaven down there. They hate the Bush. Can you imagine? I know this is tough for mainstream Americans, but can you imagine that Iraq somehow got the capability to invade America? Perhaps with the help of a local proxy. I won't name any names. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I ran from that option. Let's say they got together the military capability, but they could only afford to invade one state, so they choose Wisconsin. Okay? Yeah. So they touch down in Wisconsin, start bombing indiscriminately, cheese everywhere. Okay? They're blocking aid via Lake Michigan, no deep dish getting in. Right? And they're just targeting poor, innocent Wisconsinians. Like, oh my gosh, golly, like everywhere you go. And I happen to be in Kenosha, Wisconsin that night with my shit luck. I'm performing at the Chuckle House Kenosha, the nation's worst comedy club, at the worst time. And the Iraqis touch down to invade. And I'm no hero. I'm gonna run. I'm not gonna defend you, okay? I'm gonna go home to my 17 guns. I'm gonna run from the Iraqis. I'm gonna run down an alleyway, and they're gonna chase me. And I'm gonna run, and I'm gonna run, until I hit a dead end. And I'm just gonna have to turn and face them. And when I have to turn and face them, all I'm gonna be able to say is, why? Why? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you wreaking this carnage on me and all of my people? We did not do anything to you. Why are you doing this to us? And then they're just like, because you voted for George W. Bush in 2004. Like, what the Bush? Like, you're still thinking about that? And I'm like, no, I didn't vote for George W. Bush. I voted for independent candidate Ralph Nader! And they're like, yes, but everybody knows a vote for Nader is a vote for Bush. Like, come on, man. And there's just further proof that no matter where it is, the two-party system sucks ass. You are literally spitting out straight up APAC talking points.
No, she's not.
You don't think so?
She is. I think she's making a lot of really good ones.
Whoa! Apparently they come in APAC.
Not all people do talking points.
I agree. Yes.
They're also talking points. I appreciate she has the courage to speak up.
Yeah.
It's very complicated and it shouldn't be minimized and patronized to people that are really struggling with the important issues that you're taking. Exactly.
I think we all agree on that. I think we all 100% agree. Yes, that's true as well. But this is what I don't understand. See, sir, this is why I'm talking, because if you agree with that? The Arabs and Muslims are atrocious. Do you agree with that part? All right, guys, listen. No. Everybody stop. Everybody, quiet. This is my show. Listen, first of all, I respect you guys for coming to the show and sitting in the front row. Obviously, you don't agree with the things that I'm saying. That's fine. I don't. Yeah.
I'm actually from Palestine.
Do you guys? Okay. Hey, well, nice to meet you. Okay, so you brought her to kind of to get a little like a different.
I have no idea, but she's still my friend.
That's awesome. Okay. Hey, look, you find out a lot about your friends when you come to the comedy show, right? Yeah. We learn things that we never knew, you know. Okay. You have to understand, okay? We don't have to agree on everything. The reason why I made an issue about it is because when you heckle or when you say something in the middle of the joke, it becomes different jurisdiction. You know what I'm saying? Like if we were just having a conversation on the street and it's like, I don't know you, you don't know me. It's like, obviously we're not gonna agree on the same things, you know what I mean? But when I'm in the middle of like constructing and building a narrative and it's interrupted with a counterpoint, which is fair, which is fine, but not at the comedy show, right? We can do it in a DM exchange, we can do it for that reason, when we're at the show, it is under my jurisdiction. You could say that you are all under my jurisdiction. And as an occupier, it is my duty, specified under international law, to take care of you, okay? And so that's why, with love, I say all of these things, because I think you're great. I think that you do strive for balance, and I think that you do want to see the nuance and look in the perspective. But I think that you also were saying a lot of things that people here who know a lot about the situation and are clearly biased towards Palestine have heard these sound bites used perpetually to defend the stripping of human rights of an entire population of people. Please, I speak what I think is justice. Everybody has their own opinion of justice. I speak on what I think is justice. By the way, don't call me a social justice warrior. Please, don't call me a social justice warrior. I prefer social justice jihadi. It's fitting because I tend to take myself out in the process. I have sacrificed my show. What? It's hard being a social justice jihadi. You only get one shot. Thank you so much, San Diego. I love you.
Someone has to save us all from World War III. I nominate the college students. Yeah. I was having a conversation with an old classmate from high school because I forgot to make myself not searchable on Facebook. And he was like, Sammy, what do you think about these college protesters? I said, I think they're doing the right thing. They're standing up against genocide. They're standing up against war. Sure, there might be an occasional straggler who's not related to the movement. And just like usual, the media will hyper-focus on them. But the overwhelming, vast majority of these students, they are using their First Amendment right to protest for a good cause. Yes. And I find that quite refreshing. It's a breath of fresh air. He's like, well, it's illegal. I'm like, then it's a line of cocaine. The most potent comes from Colombia. He's like, well, they're trespassing. I'm like, dude, if I pay $60K in tuition, I can sit in whatever bush I want. Do you understand me? If they are trespassing, then give them their money back. Like, what did you think was going to happen? For years, you told these kids they had no future job. You told them they were useless, that they were addicted to social media, that they were going to end up being homeless. Well, now guess what? Living in tents in front of Harvard. That's what you get. You get what you wish for, okay? And this guy's like, well, they're just a bunch of woke kids using hate speech. I'm like, which one is it, all right? You can't be anti-woke and anti-free speech. That's like saying, I'm a morning person who hates breakfast. Like, no, that's your thing. Don't. He's like, well, they're anti-Semitic. I'm like, dude, these protests are mostly being organized by Arab and Jewish students. That's the most Semitic thing you've ever seen in your existence. Arabs are Semitic too. Did you know that? Didn't go to college? Got it. Okay. Have you ever seen a Passover Seder with keffiyehs? Nah, bro. This is pro-Semitism. And he's like, yeah, well, they're un-American and they're terrorists. I was like, do you know why they're protesting? They're calling for their campuses to divest from Israel. He's like, what's a divest? I'm like, that might be the problem. But you just asked me, what is a divest? To divest is a form of boycott. Last I checked, boycotting, the most American you can do. It's actually how this country was founded. If the founding fathers had tents, they would be out there at the college campuses right now, fully supporting. Maybe 3/5 supporting some of them, but majority supporting. Yes, and they're not terrorists. They're not blowing themselves up with vests filled with explosives, which would be another form of divest. This is America, and these institutions, whether public or private, do have the right to support Israel. But then why are they going to be mad when other people are trying to settle on their land? Are you against settling or are you for it, colleges? Make up your mind. But, of course, Biden had a solution for all this. Biden was like, we need to calm these protests down. I'm gonna ban TikTok. Like, wow, you just sparked the whole revolution. Good job, Joe. And then the colleges are like, all right, guys, if you're not gonna behave, fine. All your classes will be on Zoom. And they're like, yeah, dude, we won! Yeah, they say the revolution will not be televised, but it will be on Zoom, apparently.
Little Gazas are disgusting cesspools of anti-Semitic hate, full of pro-Hamas sympathizers, fanatics, and freaks.
Hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no.
College students are out there protesting. The government and media are talking so much smack about the college protesters. Calling the encampments Little Gazas.
Little Gazas.
Which is like a great restaurant name, for sure. That's, I'm definitely gonna open up a Little Gaza. People are straight up calling them Hamas. It's like, bro, did you know in 1968, Columbia University students took one of their deans hostage? That's a Hamas right there, bro. These kids are doing light work, bro. And they're saying things like, oh, they're making students unsafe. Like, yeah, from the police that you called on them. You're worried about child safety and then you call out the police to beat the your students. Yeah, your priorities are really in order. Just recently, the UCLA encampment was attacked. A mob of counter-protesters came in the middle of the night. They launched firecrackers and they just started pulling down the barrier of the encampment, just started pulling kids out and literally assaulting them. To me, it was like, once this video circulates, it's gonna be very, very clear. These kids are very peaceful and they're literally getting attacked by outsiders. But there's people actually defending those aggressors, saying, no, they're defending themselves because these students are occupying the campus. And I'm like, so you're saying that they have the right to resist? Congratulations, you are Hamas. Welcome to Little Gaza. Come for the joke, stay for the flatbread. I will support. Oh, hey, come to the student encampment, please. I love that. It's so sweet. And it shows, can you raise it one more time? Everybody look at this. It shows not only the urgency of me needing to come there, but also the urgency of these kids needing to, like, more grammar classes, you know? Because it just shows, man, they need us. They need us right now. Amazing, thank you so much. The free speech censorship on Palestine is ridiculous, bro. You can't even say from the river to the sea. What if you're giving directions to someone on a boat? You see a guy stranded out on a lake in a little boat. You're like, hey man, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna go from the river to the, whoa, don't say that. It's like, what? I was just gonna say from the river to the sea, his boat will be free. That's all I was gonna say. They're like, no, you're saying that once he gets out to the ocean, he's gonna sink out all the other boats. I'm like, this isn't Battleship, okay? I merely want the liberation of that particular boat. That's why I said it that way, and I didn't say L5, you know what I mean? You know who else does from the river to the sea? A baby salmon. Aww. Yeah. Every salmon is hatched upstream and has to swim all the way down to the sea. From the river to the sea is the tale of the liberation of a baby salmon. You eventually eat. You want to ban that? And so listen, I sympathize with people who are sensitive to phrases and words. I get it. Everybody is sensitive to phrases and words for their own reason. But that doesn't change our freedom of speech. I don't specifically want to hurt anybody's feelings, but because I know that my intentions when I say this term are for the liberation of Palestine and nothing else, I feel okay saying it, okay? And if you listen to me when I tell you that those are my intentions and I'm not lying to you, then you have the choice at that point to either respect and believe me or cry me a river to the sea, okay? So good. It's so good. I like to be empathetic with people, but like trying to ban words like intifada. It's like, listen, I understand the history of the intifada. There was a lot of violence. I get that. I get why you might be triggered by the term intifada, but it's literally a word in Arabic. You can't just ban a random word in Arabic. Intifada is a word in Arabic that means uprising, or it can mean to just shake it off. It's basically a Taylor Swift song. Intifa, Intifa, ha ha, That should be Taylor Swift's new tour. The era of Intifada. You have the right to be offended or to be scared and be hurt by free speech. It doesn't change the nature that it is still free speech. And you would think that we would understand that in this country, where we have the First Amendment, and it allows us to do things like make up songs like America, America, the land of freedom of speech, where as long as your intentions are good, you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want, from the river to the mother sea. I posted a joke about Israel because it was funny, and this account trolled me. This account had a profile picture that was a Pokemon, so you know he's legit. And Pikachu said, criticizing Israel is anti-Semitic. To which I said, why? He said, because Israel is a Jewish state. And I said, well, did you know that Israel is 20% Arab? So can't I 20% criticize Israel? Also, last time I checked, I'm an American, which means I can criticize any country I want. Yes. In fact, that's what we do best out here. We criticize countries we don't even know anything about. I think this is a basic human right that should be allowed across the world, that people should be able to freely criticize any country that they don't agree with the actions of. This is as simple as it gets. I don't see why there should be any disagreement. Do you guys remember in 2022 when Iran cracked down on its people after the massive protests? Can we all agree that that was an oppressive act by Iran's government and that was horrible and we should condemn that? We can all agree that, right? We can all agree. See, that's Islamophobic, okay? Because Iran is a Muslim country. Do you see how that's silly? That we can't just take the national religion of a country and use it to conflate criticizing a country with hate of that religion? That's so silly, okay? If we can freely criticize Iran, we can freely criticize Israel, okay? They're both countries in the Middle East. They both start with an I, okay? Sure, one's known for carpets, one's known for carpet bombing. I'm just saying, I can make that joke because it's only 20% of my set. I want to make it very clear. I'm against anti-Semitism. A lot of Palestinians are frustrated that we constantly have to prove that we are not anti-Semitic. Trust me, you talk to any Palestinian, we've been asked 1,000 times. And I don't get frustrated. I actually love it. I love proving to people that I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm like, no, come here, I love you. Like, I'm here to love, okay? I get aroused just thinking about it. Actually, I get aroused thinking about how much I love Jewish people. I love the Semitics, as Trump would probably say. I love the Semitics. Yeah, I'm not anti-Semitic. I am pro-Semitic. I support Semitism. Yes. You know how pro-Semitic I am? I'm so pro-Semitic that I am Semitic. Yeah, you didn't know? Arabs are Semitic too. You didn't know that, Pikachu? How can I be Semitic and anti-Semitic at the same time? Do I just equal to zero? What is some matter, antimatter shit? It's like calling a tomato anti-fruit. It's like, I'm fruit too. Yes, if you didn't know what Semitic means, Semitic refers to Semitic peoples. Semitic peoples are people who speak Semitic languages, and the three main Semitic languages are Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic. So unless you know Jesus Christ directly, the Semitic people that you know in your life are Arab and Jewish people. Those are your Semitic friends, okay? Check in on your Semitic friends. They're not doing too well right now, okay? So that's what Semitic means, Arab and Jewish people. Now, just to clarify here, the term anti-Semitism originally was created to speak about hatred towards both Arabs and Jews. It was actually created by a Jewish Austrian scholar in the late 1800s in reference to a French scholar who was saying that the Semitic races are inferior to the Aryan races. And so this Austrian scholar said, hey, that's anti-Semitic, created a word. And then the Germans somehow heard about this and they said, yes, we are that. And he's like, no, it's supposed to be a bad thing. And the Germans are like, yeah, no, yes, we are anti-Semites. And so the word anti-Semite and anti-Semitic was popularized by the Nazis in reference to hatred for the Jews, because that's who they hated. And so the word became popularized as hatred to Jews. And so that's how double racist the term anti-Semitic is, because it was intended to mean hatred towards all Semitic peoples, and it became popularized as only hatred for the Jews. So not only is it horrible because it's about hatred, but it also left out the Arabs. It's double racist. So I know that's a long history lesson, but I typed it all out in the YouTube comment to Pokemon. And he just responded, ... And so I said, in conclusion, yes, anti-Semitism is typically meant about hatred towards Jewish people, and we must condemn that, but also do note that Semitic people include Arab people. So in a sense, the term is also hateful to Arab and Jewish people. And Pikachu finally responds. He says, well, I don't hate Arabs and I don't hate Jews, I just hate you. Well, the truth comes out, I see. I'm like, well, I can live with that. I can live with that. But just so you know, that is anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism. There's a genocide going on in Gaza, and if you're not entirely sure that it's a genocide, look up the definition of genocide. And if you still don't think it's a genocide, you don't understand how definitions work. The word genocide upsets a lot of people. People are like, no, it's not a genocide. And you're like, why? You're like, because it doesn't feel like a genocide. Oh, is that how we go by now? What you're feeling, it's a genocide. So much so that South Africa has tried to charge Israel with genocide. If South Africa goes after you for racism, you know you don't up. And they're making their case, but I think they could have been a little more aggressive. The only mistake I think South Africa made was they didn't hire Cat Williams as their prosecutor. And this motherfucker's fake, and this motherfucker's fake, and this motherfucker is an industry plant. Only some people saw the interview, that's fine. But yes, it's a genocide if you look up the definition. It's a genocide. I've heard a lot of people try to argue that it's not. Like, it's not a genocide because there's still Palestinians left. Like, what the f***? That's not how it works. The worst thing I heard was, oh, how is it a genocide if the Palestinian population keeps increasing? You're like, first of all, how do you know that? You're clearly tracking the population, which sounds like somebody who would commit genocide would do. This one guy was like, how is it a genocide if the Palestinian population has increased by 500% in the last 50 years? I'm like, okay, you're definitely trying to commit a genocide. You are tracking that population way too hard. But it's true. The Palestinian population has increased by 500% in the last 50 years. It's almost doubled in the last 20 years. Why? Because they're trying to counter a genocide by multiplying. That's how you do it. Take notes. Because Palestinians, they're using the one weapon they have. It's not rockets, it's not rocks, it's drive. You know what I mean? Palestinians are really good at procreating. I mean, like, really good, okay? I mean, like, really good. Trust me, like, really good. From the river to the sea, we be